Hi everyone. I just wanted to jump in here and just talk about some pretty bloody heavy-hitting topics, to be honest. I recorded a video the other day on narcissism and just how these things come about and how society is like grooming people to sort of go this route. Basically, it's kind of like it kind of funnels people into this, though what I'm just listening to right now makes fucking narcissism like a walk in the park, to be honest. And though the reason why I wanted to bring that up first is because, like, what I was sharing the other day on the note, I'm just gonna briefly just say what I've been sort of looking at and listening to about now is the Great Reset that's coming up. And so what I was sharing the other day, only because when you're talking, and it's just 111, so when you're talking intergenerational trauma and generational curses and things like that, so, and I fucking know it too, like, I'm not speaking to my own mum at the moment for that exact reason. I didn't speak to my brother last year for the same reason, and just sort of, and even I just want to talk a little bit about family and the whole divide and conquer and things like that too. So it's like society is basically grooming people to just like sort of follow suit. And what I was sharing the other day, and the reason why I've actually been meaning to jump back in here and sort of rehash on it and readdress it, because look, I'm never, I'm not everybody's cup of tea. And I know I talk about some pretty triggering things. I know my passion and energy is fucking triggering because it triggers me, and even half the things, like, I don't watch the news and I don't, I try and protect my peace and I try and keep my energy pretty tight. It's just 222. Though being the scapegoat and things like that of my family and being projected at, being rejected, being thrown under the bus, being made feel wrong and all of those things for so long, obviously gets a fire going in your belly. And so what I was sharing though the other day, because still, even though that is the case, and even though I'm not talking to my mother and things like that at the moment, like, obviously there's a part of me that longs to fix it, and I still have love and compassion for her in the background. And this is what I wanted to share, and what I was just saying, I lost a subscriber overnight when I shared something the other day, and I'd just been for a nice bushwalk and nature walk and things like that, so it wasn't as if I was just ramped up and talking unnecessarily, though I was listening to a book by a lady named Tara Brach called Radical Acceptance. It's just literally 333. And so she's talking about people being in a trance, and it's so good. Like, it's so good. Like, anybody who wants to understand themselves more, understand their family, and just how this freaking unfolds, like, and how we put on these masks and just sort of operate from a trance place, until we know better, like, until we literally go on a conscious healing journey. And to be honest, I haven't spoken for quite a while. I've been sitting on the fence for quite a while, because I know this is fucking huge. Like, the things that I'm feeling, the things that I'm witnessing and things like that, and I'm like, this is gonna piss some people off. And it's ballsy, to talk about these things, though it's a necessary conversation. And even losing a subscriber, over expressing, because I was wording, and I painted a picture right around it. It's just 444. And I feel the need to even just point out the note of angel numbers while I'm talking about these heavy topics too, because I'm just going, it's not all doom and gloom. Though, again, I just feel like some of these things are necessary for people's understanding and peace. Like, that's actually what I just wanted to share. So what I was sharing the other day was, and I even said before I said it, I don't know if cutting them some slack is the best terminology, though what I'm sharing is, again, yeah, like society is basically grooming people to be celebrated, to go this path, you know, and to groom our kids, like to fucking groom our kids. And there's actually a documentary out there called We're Coming for You Kids. And not only that, like, they know that people don't really listen to politicians and things like that anymore, so they're threading things in through brands that people watch and listen to and pay attention to and fucking wear, like, you know. And there's even the other night there was 2 shows on television on Netflix that I wanted to watch. Like, obviously I'm like, yeah, I would like to, you know, I sort of consider myself a hippie / white witch, slash angel, ADHD angel and things like that. Though, sorry, I know I'm moving around, but I'm sort of passionate about this, and I need to find a comfy spot for my hand. And so anyways, one of them was called Witches or something like that. And then it just got really dark, and, pardon me, unnecessary exposure, like, was and more demonic, you know, was the feeling I got from it. We fucking flicked it off, like, I turned it off. Then we put on a Jack Black movie, something about the clock wall, or I don't know. Anyways, it's about clocks. I know Jack Black's a little bit dark in his personality, and I sort of felt, and even for a little while I was even saying to my partner, this has still got a dark vibe about it too, though it feels a little bit more palatable and digestible than the last one. And then that did the same thing. Like, we sort of got so far into it, and again, just fucking unnecessary darkness to it. And so we turned that off. I can't even remember what we ended up putting on, though. Yeah, and I know we don't always have to live in fairies and rainbows, though, again, it's about the exposure, and it's about how it sits inside us, in our psyche, in our soul, and in our nervous system. So there's an agenda. So we've got to be so careful. And not only that, guys, parents out there, we've got to be so careful what our kids are being exposed to and watching and things like that. So anyways, but the thing that I was saying about narcissism, and don't get me fucking wrong, I have been fucked over by narcissists so many times in my life. It's not even funny. Like, in some senses, I'm lucky I'm still standing and speaking and passionate in the world, like, because it's the classic case. You'll either get bitter or you'll get better. And it's so tempting to get bitter. It's so fucking tempting. And I nearly did. And though it just, and that's not, I'm not saying that as separation for anyone or anything. I'm just saying, like, and to be honest, witnessing my own mother and things like that was actually, things like that forced me to sort of keep going through and, yes, be a cycle breaker and generational curse breaker and things like that. Though, again, not even investing in the buzz terminology, like, it's a fucking necessary process that we need to all want to honor. So yeah, guys, I'm just sort of, there's so many ways that we can get taken out at the moment, and that that we can get triggered, we can get disempowered, we can get angry. Like, obviously they go into the same category, but again, when you're in a fear state or when you're in an anger state, you've got cortisol coursing through your body, so you get brain fog. So nobody is operating from their best and highest place and self when you are triggered and fired up and things like that. You are blindsided. So then, not only that, again, back to, yeah, like even half the fucking vaccines is 6 times, like, I'm sorry guys, but this is a bit of a rant here though. 6 times the aluminium, like heavy metals, like being injected into our babies to the size of the ratio of like what the body can actually cope with. Like, what the fuck? Why is aluminium even fucking in there to start with? Please, somebody tell me. Like, if you want to talk vitamins and minerals and things like that, okay, so be it. But what's with the heavy metals? And what heavy metals does is basically throws gut health, the microbiome, out of whack. So ADHD, hello, like we make about it like it's a fucking club, and we go, oh, I'm ADHD too. And yes, whilst it is, and I will say, like, all the awesome people are ADHD and or neurodivergent. Though, as much as that is a funny sentence to say, it's still fucking scary to think how, where, and why. And like, okay, we're still the truth tellers. It's just 1111. We're still the truth tellers out there and things like that. Though, again, because society doesn't, we don't fit well into society. I can't even say the word now. So we're already on the back foot. So our self-worth is already low. And basically, what I feel the agenda of ADHD is to create fucking workers, because we can be guns across the board when it comes to, and especially when somebody is low in their self-worth, that they're going to be wanting to try and prove themselves, prove their intelligence, prove their worth, and overextend, overcompensate, overgive. And so you're already on the back foot when you're not coming from an empowered place from that. And then obviously being a truth teller in your family and things like that puts you more on the back foot, because you get rejected from your own family, let alone society. So, and again, when your nervous system is rejected from your own, in the own home, then your nervous system in society, you've already got that abandonment wound in place. So yeah, they're looking for love in all the wrong places, and overgiving, weak boundaries and things like that. Oh, it's the perfect cocktail for a fucking employee, and then and then obviously autistic sort of people, well, they're good with computers because they can tunnel vision. Yes, they are sticklers for the rules and things like that. And so I just want to talk how I feel that the reason why that there's more than ever ADHD, more than ever autism. It's everything. It's the pesticides, it's the preservatives, it's the fucking poison, like literal poison, like being sprayed from our skies onto our fruit and veg, like fucking the soil, like and I, like, for years, and this is why I'm in my mid-40s now, and for years I was so confused. I thought, how can they have it so wrong? Like, how can they have it so wrong that how can the average Joe, so to speak, have more of an idea on people, for one, and seeing the logic in the tomorrow? Like, how come, like we can see the aftermath and the ripple effect of some of these decisions that are getting made in the todays, and then seeing like the aftermath in the tomorrows of that. And I was thinking, how come these so-called educated people can't see this? And then what I'm realizing more and more now, they fucking can. Like, and then like GMO, like when you're talking about like even stripping, like getting a bee shortage, like even the organic bee place I went to. Sorry guys, I'm trying not to jump around here, but there's so many things, like, but even all the bees sort of, saying that I know of a place where it was one of the largest organic beehive, like in like many numbers of bees. The government came around and said, oh, there's a disease going around, we have to wipe all of your fucking bees out, and just exterminate. What can I think of that? We'll go with destroy. Exterminate. Exterminate and destroy put together. Yeah, so anyways, but yeah, like that, you know, those things piss you off, and they're huge, like in the scheme of things and the scale of things, like of what that actually means and the why of that. And then yeah, like, and then they're just talking about now yeah, like your digital identity and things like that. And to be honest, like I've already said to my partner, I already said to him the other night, and I'd already quietly decided to myself, you know, one day I've already made peace. One day I might choose not to have an iPhone, and I might choose not to have this kind of technology available and at my fingertips, not because I want to be a recluse, not because I want to be an ostrich and things like that, but because this is literally how they're going to monitor. And yeah, so, and you know, and even a part of me has been sitting, you know, trying to bite my lip about this and trying to, yeah, bunker down and just, yeah, protect my peace and things like that. But there might come a point, and not too near in the distant future, that this kind of freedom of speech will be a fucking luxury. And I am going to wish I said it. So, and I say this to all of us too, that yeah, like it's just about empowering ourselves and arming ourselves with the right information, going on your conscious fucking healing journey to understand yourself, to understand your nervous system, to understand the programs that have been put inside us since the get-go. And, you know, and again, like even though I'm not speaking to my own mother right now, I still love her and I forgive her. And that's what I just wanted to share on the note of saying cutting narcissists some slack, because again, it's still an agenda to be the divide and conquer, when society is basically, again, funneling everybody into this kind of specialness, my child sort of, yeah, praise for, like, I don't want to get into it because I know it can be a little bit triggering. I know because it's threaded into so many families. And yeah, though, again, when these people are discarded and written off, it's like they're still chewed up and spat out by society at the other end anyway. So they might get the accolades, they might get the celebration, they might get the fucking trophies for a while, though again, people don't want to connect with them. And what happens? They end up, like what they sort of call a narcissist collapse, is basically when they just realize everything was a fucking illusion and going, holy shit, you know. And yes, they were being selfish, and yes, they do need to receive their karma, and yes, they do need a kick up the ass and a wake up call. Though, again, can we just give a little bit of room for how these things come about, and to give a little bit of compassion for the befores. Like, again, it's nobody's fault, but it's everybody's personal responsibility to, like, sort of sit up and pay attention and, again, go on our conscious healing journey. And for a little while, you are going to get black sheeped. For a little while, you are going to get rejected. Though I can promise you now, there is nothing more important and more empowering than knowing yourself through and through. Because if you don't know yourself, if you don't know your values, guess what? You're a fucking puppet and you're food for other people. And I'm sorry, I know this is harsh. I've just been listening to some things that, like I'm saying, I don't normally watch the news and things like that. Though for some reason, I just pressed on that just before, and then I just went down a little bit of a rabbit hole of, the Great Reset and things like that. And I was just like, oh, Yeah, and it's just got a fire burning inside me that, again, and I just want to say, don't worry if you get rejected from some of your family members, if you get rejected from some people in your immediate circle, so be it. Because if they've rejected you, they never fucking seen you to start with. I'm sorry. But if they reject you, they never seen you to start with. Because if they did, they wouldn't question it. They mightn't agree with everything that you're saying, though. Yeah, so anyways, but I just, yeah, you know, like, and then like I was Googling the other day too, because even my mother she was the truth teller in her family. She was the black sheep in her family. And now she's like, yeah, like a fucking, yeah, covert narcissist, you know. And again, like, I don't say that loosely of like putting that label to my mum. I'm just saying it for an example and an understanding. Though again, I try not to use that kind of terminology for my mum because it still doesn't feel very good and it still doesn't sit right. And nobody wants to call their parents that, like nobody. And it's not about the blame game, and it's not about projecting from the other side and going, you're this, you're that, you know, point. It's not that. Like, that is not empowering either. So, you know, and neither's that. So it's fucking that, like, that we should be doing, like, love, not, you know, because this is what they want. You know, they want people angry. They want people confused. And even with the agenda, and I say this is not a judgment call either. Like, I've got gay friends and things like that. But a lot of gays don't stay together. A lot of gays aren't loyal because they've had to reject and split off a part of their identity that didn't fit into society. So there's already a part of them that's fragmented. Then, you know, they sort of connect with people for so long. But again, trauma is what it is. And until people go on their conscious healing journey, then they will just be repeating patterns and cycles. And again, like, yeah, the bloody, yeah, gays are like shocking. Like, when it comes to just too shocking when it comes. I do know some that have been loyal, though one was still in a toxic dynamic, even though he was loyal to his partner, but his partner wasn't loyal. His partner wasn't loyal at all. And then another couple I know, yeah, but even still, I haven't spoken to him in 15 years. They're still together, but I don't know their story, so to speak. So, though again, because they don't really want to unite, they don't really want to have a family. Some do. So basically, it's basically getting people as individuals, and weak individuals at that. Like, people that don't know themselves, that don't know their value, who they are, what their actual identity even means properly. Then you are just a flame. They can get blown out at any given point. And this is the thing. And you know what? Like, even, golly gosh, you know, and this, sorry guys, this is, the trigger warnings are just going to keep coming here. But yeah, like, even when it comes to people ending their lives, more and more, you know, these days. And trust me, something that I've just been through recently, I've been crying to my partner going, oh, you know, it's so fucking tempting. Like, I don't want to, though, again, it's so tempting. Like, yeah, I've already said I don't want to come back to Earth. Like, hear me now. Yeah. So, yeah, hang on 1 second. So yeah, so anyways, I'm just wanting to paint this picture across the board to, I guess, basically not to be scared, not to be fearful, to start arming yourself with proper knowledge, not just what movie we're going to watch on the weekend, because whilst you're sleeping, literally sleeping on your lounge with something going on Netflix, the rug is getting pulled out from underneath you. And yeah, so anyways, I just felt the need to really share some words right now, and I've fucking sat on the fence for so long because I've been thinking, oh, this is huge. Who am I to talk about these things? But who are we not? Because if we don't start talking about them now, if we don't start having a backbone now, we are going to get fucked. And it ain't going to be pretty. You are going to be a number. And yeah, like to what they're saying, you won't own anything and you'll be happy. Like, yeah, sweet. So who will own it? And again, their agenda ain't pretty. So it's not like, oh, crossing your fingers that you get a good boss and, you know, that they look after you and things like that. Fuck no. It's not like that, you know. And again, unfortunately, we are just numbers. And we are disposable. Even if we do commit suicide. Anyways, there's plenty more where that came from, you know. It doesn't matter. It's still win-win. So we need to start creating a win-win for ourselves. And, and start educating ourselves, you know. Yes, crypto, Bitcoin. It's probably the first time I've ever mentioned those things out loud though I've even been saying to my partner, for our kids, like coming up to their birthdays and things like that, we should be getting them even a $30, like just throw it in, $50, like throw it in their account. Because we're not going to be able to help them. We're not going to be able to save them. And people think at the moment that they're, you know, got it tough and doing the right thing of having to look after their children's children and things like that whilst they go off to work. It's going to be next level. So, and again, guys, I'm sorry. Like, I'm not trying to freak everyone out here, and I'm not trying to talk. Yeah, I'm not trying to give unsolicited, uneducated advice. This is not advice. This is sharing. And this is, you know, just information that we should all, I keep my world pretty blissful and pretty simple in many ways. But again, this is what they're preying on because, you know, ignorance is bliss. And even though I'm sort of very tapped in when it comes to, you know, the universe and spirituality and, you know, energy and God and things like that, those kind of things. And even on the note of that, phasing out God and Jesus, because, and even still, like I've been saying it for a bit of time now, though, like, why are we more comfortable saying the F word than the G word, like, or the J word? Like, why are these such forbidden loaded words? They're forbidden loaded words because they equal fucking freedom to our, like, basically, if this all go, you know, like, basically we are protecting our freedom on a greater scale right now, because otherwise souls will be hijacked with friggin' technology and social media. And social media will probably be fleeting as well, like, because as soon as they realize that people are relying on that, they'll go, you know, and that'll be something else that will go. So so, and again, like, sorry, like, I'm really not meaning to sit here and just go, you know, talk about all the shit going on. And this is why I've kept quiet for so long. And I just got back from a walk just now, and I'm thinking, this really is huge, and we really do need to start talking about it, because if not now, when? And one day there might not be a when. We might not get the luxury of a when. So now is the time. And so anyways, but and I just want to say too, like, even just looping back to the reason why I jumped in here on the note of narcissism and things like that, just to say that and generational trauma and things like that. I'm not condoning narcissism. I'm not certainly not, you know, saying it's okay. I'm not celebrating it. I'm not anything like that. What I'm saying is to give room for compassion, because again, you either get bitter or you get better. And whilst you're bitter about who fucked you over, who did this to you, and it's like, oh my God, you stay stuck in the story. So We need to go again. Our conscious healing journey has never been more important. We need to go within, or we will go without. Just side note tip, and I'm sorry guys, again, I know I'm talking about passion, with a lot of passion here right now, and I'm fucking sorry if I've triggered you too, but I'm triggered as well. And this matters to all of us. Like, this equals all of us. So this is important to talk about. And so just to say, your conscious healing journey is very important, because we first have to turn that lens of compassion to ourselves and within, understand our story, go through the grieving process that, no, it didn't turn out the way that we ideally would have loved for it to look, feel, be, though it is what it is. And, it is what it is. And they are who they are, and we are who we are as a result of that. And same. And whilst it was probably, harder before in some ways, like obviously now we have the luxury of, like where before they had to go and chop wood and things like that, now we press a button, we've got our aircon. Even just the World War III. Anyways, I was just laughing at COVID, like of just sort of saying how, like World Wars I and II, like we had to go to war and things like that. Now we just got to sit on the lounge and watch TV. Don't fuck it up, and so. But anyways, I just more want to share and just say, like, forgiveness of others and what has happened to us for up until now, the chapters that when we didn't have the pen in our hand. Just to make peace with that, and to make peace with your perpetrators, whoever they are. And I'm saying that wholeheartedly. I know some stories are horrific, and I send love to you, and I send you peace, I send you compassion. Though again, I don't see this in a callousness at all, because I've been through some stuff too, don't worry. Though again, it doesn't so much matter of our story. It's still the same symptoms, and it's still the same trauma wounds. Like, it still hits on those same spots. And then again, because even as I'm just getting fired up right now, I'm just in the process of giving up smoking, and right now I'm firing myself up that I'm thinking, I want to go and buy a packet of cigarettes. And I'm just saying, addiction is another one. So be mindful, because again, you can be selfish, you can stay selfish, or you can stay asleep, or you can be easily manipulated when you've got a need. So again, we have to tidy these things up, and we really do have to protect our peace more than ever, to make peace out there. And again, like even when it comes to these agendas and things like that, yes, get upset, yes, get pissed off, yes, express, get it off your chest, and then come back to alignment, come back to self, come back home to peace inside. Because trust me, yes, I'm fired as I'm speaking now, and this is why I literally don't watch a lot of these things, though. Whilst you're in those states of feeling angry, feeling pissed off, feeling da-da-da, this is 333, again, you're getting taken out. Again, you're on the back foot. Again, you're not in your personal power. So yeah, guys, this is probably the most passionate, message I've ever sort of, shared. And it's amongst them, there's some passionate messages out there that I've put, and, others, but this is important, and this is serious, and this equals our freedom in ways that, is priceless, for one. And, the magnitude of what's being said is just, it is mind-blowing. And so anyways, sending love. Happy healing. Happy healing. Sorry, just put a bit of lightness at the end there. that'd be like the dolphin at the end of the news, or the cat that they got out of the tree. But yeah, and just sending love to everyone's story, and yeah, I hope this helps. And sending love. Have a great weekend. Take care.